R8, and we're in the winter. Usually this car is not driven in the winter, but we just got it back from Bill at Garage Auto Sports. I made that video, went under some maintenance, and we're just gonna go ahead and get it to a car wash, clean it up a little bit. Oh, and just remember how this car sounds and feels like when it's shifting. Wow. Oh boy, I miss it. So if you don't already know, I haven't had the car for about 2.5 months. It was at the shop with Bill Sanderson, the team at Garage Auto Sports, getting a bunch of maintenance done. If you haven't seen that video, again, I'll link it in the card above. And also make sure you subscribe if you want to see more about this car. But I want to just go out and take a nice drive. It is a beautiful winter night here, and we have the custom exhaust on, which I have the controller here for as well, by Bill and his team. And right now we have it on, but it can just go off, and it's a much quieter sound. So we have that here as well. And then again, oh, I really miss the 6-speed gated manual transmission. This thing is just an absolute joy to row, joy to put the power down. Oh, it feels good. Honestly, I was having a little bit of a moment. I was like, oh, my car isn't in my garage for 2 months, 2.5 months. I was like worried. But, you know, worried for no reason, just because I don't see my car there in the garage anymore during the winter. I was just wishing it would come back to me, and I just missed it. Such a beautiful car. And the moment I picked it back up from Bill and I saw the car again, it's like, wow. You know, it's like true love. I really, really, really love this car, and I miss driving it. It's one of the best cars I've driven, just because, again, of the entire experience. If you haven't seen my video, I did a 3-year ownership update of this car, and quite honestly, it's one of the best driving cars I've driven. That's why I'm just super in love with it. And now we're actually headed to the car wash. We're gonna go there. We're also gonna do a little photo shoot with the car. Little winter, messy photo shoot, but at least a little something. And I just need to open it up just a little bit before we put it back away. Oh, great power. And we did a lot of maintenance, injectors, spark plugs, really got the car and the engine firing on all cylinders again, and really just happy with it. The interior is a bit dirty, as you can tell, but that's okay. 57,000 kilometers on the Auto today, and we're gonna hopefully take it on for a nice wash, get it clean, get all that salt and gunk off, and we're gonna downshift to third, hammer it now. Now, I do want to be careful. I am on the Michelin Pilot 4S tires. While it's still dry out, it's very cold, so I don't want to do anything crazy. But what a beautiful day, and it's so fitting and so great to be back in this car. I look forward to the spring where we're going to do a full wash, paint correction on this thing, and then we're going to go ahead and re-ceramic the car. It's been about 3 years since I applied the original ceramic coating. It's still on there, but now I have developed some swirls and scratches over time. After 3 years of washing, even with the 2-bucket method, you're gonna get that, which I wanna go ahead and remove. So we're gonna go ahead, do all that on this car. And then there's some other things that we're gonna do this year. We're gonna be on the track a lot more this year. I have track specific tires and wheels ready to go. We're gonna keep the ADV ones off of this and put those on for those track days. That'll be really cool. I'm really excited and looking forward to that. And wow, I'm just glad to be back in this thing. I really miss this thing. And this year, by the way, guys, if you're part of the channel, we're gonna be reviewing lots of great cars. Luckily, my friend group, lots of them have really cool cars. Talking McLarens, Honda S2000s, Porsche Cayman GT4s. We got it all. My car is probably the oldest and one of the slower of the bunch. Oh, and I'm just really looking forward to really doing that and having a lot of great coffee runs as well. I'm gonna be doing more of those. I usually wake up super early in the morning on weekends, and those are the best times to actually get on the road and enjoy. So I'm gonna be doing more of those coffee runs coming up with this car and others, which I'm excited to show you. But again, the baby is back. The 2008 Generation 1 Audi R8. I'm glad that we have it back. Of course, with all of the maintenance done, the new tune done on this car, we're gonna go back to Bill and go on the dyno. We're gonna see what numbers this actually puts down on the dyno with his tune. Again, this is not a turbocharged car, naturally aspirated. We should expect some moderate gains. We're gonna go ahead and find out what those gains are, but I'm glad injectors, spark plugs, all changed. They have never been changed on this car since the factory, so it's been about 14 years. So it was about time, right? Even though those items are based on kilometers in terms of when you should replace them, we decided, you know what, let's go ahead, replace them all, make sure that the car is running in tip-top shape, and that's what we have today. And it really is just a joy to drive, a joy to look at. This car really is timeless, you know? Almost 4 years of ownership with this car. Seeing it after 2.5 months for the first time again, it's like, wow, this thing just looks absolutely stunning. And we're coming up to the car wash here. We're gonna do a little bit of a shoot on the car because it just looks so good. And then we're gonna take it back out to the garage. But boy, I am excited. Spring is not that far away. Really not that far. Oh, and we got the new suspension, by the way, in place from BC Racing. So we got new springs, which I'll talk about. I already feel like there's an improvement, but I'm gonna save my judgment until we actually can do some testing on it. But I am really, really liking what's happening so far with this car. So it's a little bit dirty, of course, but just look at this thing. It's just so beautiful. It's really timeless. I always say that, but you just walk around it and you see the headlights just never get old for me. This car is just magnificently beautiful. It's just so gorgeous, and the exhaust on this thing now just sounds remarkable. So right now it's in the off position. Let's hear how it sounds. Woo! That sounds really good. And I like that because it's a more refined, exotic sound from the stock exhaust system. So for like every day going around, it just improves on the stock experience. I love that. Let's see how it sounds with it on. Woo! Oh my God. Just remarkable. Love the way this thing sounds. Well, what else can I say? Almost 4 years of ownership on this car, and I love it. I love it. And these things are gonna be gone away very soon, like the manual transmissions. Those are basically extinct at this point. You know, I think there's maybe a few manufacturers. I know Porsche came back with the manual for the GT3. The GT4 has the manual, but very few cars have these manuals anymore, especially the gated manuals. Those are done for. And honestly, you guys have seen my previous videos on electric cars, electrification. It's coming a lot faster than we think. I really think in the next 5 years, most new car sales will be electric, or at least partly electric. So it feels like this is really the end of an era of the type of supercar that you would expect. And you know, there's going to be other supercars that are out there, fully electric, way faster, way better in terms of performance, but nothing will kind of capture what all this is, right? With the shifting, with the actual engine, internal combustion engines, all of this stuff, and just pure manual, right? Not, you know, highway driving like the Teslas. So it's a bittersweet moment to know that that's coming, but I'm glad I have piece of that history with this car. So we just finished up the photo shoot. Again, if you haven't seen, I'll link Dominic's Instagram down below. Really great guy, great photographer. Want to check him out, check his details out. It was absolutely freezing. My hands are just frozen at this point, but we're headed back. We're gonna put this thing back in the garage. Again, make sure you subscribe if you want to follow me on this journey on this Audi R8 and anything to do with cars, motorcycles, all of that. Make sure you subscribe. We're gonna share more coming up this spring. I'll catch you guys in the next video.